Good afternoon, everybody. This is Chris with VirtuOps. It's the 13th of March, 2020. And if you've been watching the news lately, you know that COVID-19, coronavirus, is big in the news. And we've been getting a lot of requests for how do we quickly and easily tell anybody coming to our website that we're not doing any face-to-face meetings or appointments, and to call the office ahead of time prior to coming in. There's a number of ways to do it. Probably the fastest way and the easiest way to do it with Wix is to use your admin console, and we're going to put a message up here in the header. When we put a message in the header, it will show up on every single page that you go to. So if they go to tutorials or services or your professional directory, it's on every site. So to get to your admin console, you'll log into www.wix.com, log in with your email and password for your site, and you'll get to your admin console. And if you remember, it's going to look a little bit like this. You'll have dashes down the side. You'll have a menu. You'll have whenever you hover over anything, it'll highlight, and it'll have boxes around things and that type of thing. Okay, so this is the header right here, and you can see that it says header up here, hashtag header 1. So you know you're in the header. So I don't have a lot of space. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pull this down just a little bit like this. I'm going to pull this one down here as well. And I'm going to pull this down too, like that. Okay, and I'm going to pull that down over here. And I'm going to pull this down as well. Okay, so that'll give us some space at the top of the header. We're going to start by putting some text in, and then we'll style it a little bit. And then we'll also add a box as a background, make it stand out, just to show you some examples of how you can get it to make it look nice on your site. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go to our add button. And some of you are already familiar with this, but we can come over here and we can add all kinds of things. And what we're going to first do is we're going to add text. I'm going to add a paragraph down here. I'm going to take that, and notice I'm going to drag it up. Notice how attached to header appears and the header highlights. This is very important. What this means is that the header recognizes that the text is coming in, and now the text is now attached to the header. Okay, we're not quite done yet though, because we want to style it. We want to lay this out so that it's centered. Right now everything's left justified. So we're going to edit the text, and we're going to choose alignment and center, just like that. We want this to stand out a little bit, so we're going to have bold. And our message is going to be fairly long because we want to tell some people about our office hours and COVID-19 and that type of thing. So we want to stretch that out a little bit. And then you just want to make sure that it's highlighted as blue so you can edit the text, and then you can put in whatever message you want. Something like that. You can still work, and you can still work remotely and that type of thing. Okay, so this might be sufficient. It might be good enough, and if it is, just go ahead and hit publish. And then what you want to do is you want to come over to your website here, and let's refresh the screen, and let's take a look and see how it looks. Okay, so that looks pretty good. We also want to make sure we check the mobile view and make sure in mobile that it looks okay. Now you may need to move some things around to get things to line up right, but usually with this type of method, it's pretty simple and it looks okay. So if I want this to stand out a little bit more, let's just say bright red text maybe doesn't look good on my site, or maybe it's a little too alarming and that type of thing. And I'm going to just take this text like this, and I'm just going to turn it to black again. And what I'll do is I'll just put a nice yellow background underneath the text. And so how I can do that is I can add a box like this. And I can change the design of my box very easily just by clicking on the design, custom design, fill color, and let's just make it yellow like this. I'll make this a little bit bigger, like that. Not too big. I want it to fit on the header about like that. Then I can take my text that was up here, and I can now attach the box. Now you'll notice, same thing, the text now becomes part of the box when you do that. And then I can just shrink this a little bit on this side, grab the box a little bit on that side like that. So now that the text is part of the box, I can move the whole box. Whoops. I'm going to move the whole box and attach the box to the header just like this. And then I can publish. And then I can go back here and I can see how that looks. And just like that, we're good. Now later on, what you might want to do is in the future, you can maybe keep this here, and maybe you want other announcements later on in the future. So you can either hide the text, or in this particular case, if it's still attached to the box, you can go up here, and then you can go to Tools, and you can go to Properties panel, and you can just say Hidden on Load, and that will hide this message in the future. It'll still be there. You can still see it in the panel here where you do your administration, but when you come over here, it'll be gone. And that concludes today's video. I hope everybody stays safe. Please wash your hands, and please keep watching the news and keep watching for guidance on the coronavirus. And everybody stay safe. I appreciate you all's time. Thank you.